Welcome to Midnight Murmurs, the channel where we delve into the magical world of literature. Today, we're going to take a sneak peek into the enchanting story of Isla and her friends as they face their greatest challenge yet in Chapter 9 of the first book in a 7-book series. In this chapter, Isla and her friends enjoy a period of peace, reflecting on their newfound identity as witches. However, their tranquility is short-lived as they uncover an ancient text that describes a powerful and dangerous magical force that has been dormant for centuries. The group must embark on a dangerous mission to prevent it from being unleashed upon the magical world. With the fate of the magical world hanging in the balance, tension is palpable as they face their greatest challenge yet. This book series is a thrilling adventure that explores the magical world and the bonds of friendship that can conquer even the most daunting of obstacles. Follow along as Isla and her friends learn about their unique strengths and talents and embrace their roles as protectors of the magical world. So, if you're a fan of Harry Potter or the Chronicles of Narnia, then this series is definitely for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all our magical Midnight Murmurs content. Book 1: The Secret of the Enchanted Forest. Chapter 9: The Calm Before the Storm. As Isla and her friends bask in the peaceful aftermath of their victory against the dark wizards, they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. They had uncovered an ancient text that spoke of a powerful and dangerous force, one that had been dormant for centuries. Isla and her friends knew that the danger was far from over, and they were determined to prevent this force from being unleashed upon the magical world. In Chapter 9, The Calm Before the Storm, we delve deeper into Isla's newfound identity as a witch and explore her growing understanding of the power of magic. As she reflects on her recent adventures and the battles she and her friends have fought, she realizes that she has come a long way from the timid new student at Arcanum Academy. But as the group prepares for their next mission, they can't help but feel a sense of foreboding. The danger they face is greater than anything they have encountered before, and they know that the fate of the magical world hangs in the balance. As they brace themselves for what lies ahead, they find solace in their friendship and the strength they draw from each other. As the sun began to set over the horizon, Isla sat alone in the garden, deep in thought. It had been several weeks since their victory over the dark wizards and the discovery of the ancient text. Isla and her friends had been enjoying a period of peace, with no major incidents or threats to the magical world. As Isla reflected on the past few weeks, she realized how much she had grown and learned. She had always known that she was different from the other students at Arcanum Academy, but now she understood why. She was a witch, a powerful being with the ability to harness magic and use it to protect the magical world. Isla couldn't help but feel grateful for the friends she had made since arriving at Arcanum Academy. Lily, Max, Arya, and Oliver had been there for her from the very beginning, even when she felt like an outsider. They had supported her, taught her, and fought alongside her during the battle with the dark wizards. Isla knew that she wouldn't have been able to do it without them. As she looked around the garden, Isla felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over her. The flowers were in full bloom, and the trees were swaying gently in the breeze. It was a reminder that even in the midst of chaos and danger, there was still beauty and tranquility in the world. With a newfound sense of purpose and understanding of her identity, Isla knew that she had to continue learning and growing as a witch. She made a vow to herself to explore more of the magical world and discover her own unique strengths and talents. She also wanted to inspire and educate future generations of witches and wizards to ensure that they would be prepared to face any challenges that may arise. As the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Isla stood up and made her way back to her dormitory. She knew that there was still much to be done to protect the magical world, but for now, she was content with the peace and calm that surrounded her. Isla and her friends had been through a lot together. They had faced danger, battled dark wizards, and saved the magical world from a terrible fate. But through it all, they had relied on each other for support and strength. As they settled into their routine at Arcanum Academy, they knew that their friendship was more important than ever. One day, Isla decided to take a walk through the forest to clear her mind. As she strolled among the trees, she couldn't help but think about her friends and all they had been through together. She felt grateful for their support and knew that she could count on them no matter what. As she walked, Isla heard a rustling in the bushes. She paused and looked around, but she couldn't see anything. Suddenly, Lily emerged from behind a tree, a mischievous grin on her face. "Boo!" Lily exclaimed, laughing. Isla jumped and then grinned back. "You scared me." "I couldn't resist," Lily said, still chuckling. "What are you doing out here?" "Just taking a walk," Isla replied. "Thinking about our adventures and how much our friendship means to me." Lily smiled. "Me too. We've been through so much together, but I wouldn't have wanted to face it all with anyone else." "I feel the same way," Isla said. "We make a great team." As they continued their walk, Isla and Lily talked about their other friends and how they all had different strengths and talents. Max was great with defensive spells, Arya had a knack for potions, and Oliver was a master at tracking and identifying magical creatures. "We're all so different, but we complement each other so well," Isla said. "It's true," Lily agreed. "And we all have each other's backs. That's what makes our friendship so strong." Isla nodded. "I don't know what I would do without you guys." "Same here," Lily said. "But we don't have to worry about that. We'll always be there for each other." As they walked back to Arcanum Academy, Isla felt a sense of comfort and belonging. She knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she had her friends by her side. They had become more than just classmates or teammates, they were family. Embracing friendship was more than just having fun and hanging out. It was about having each other's backs, supporting each other through thick and thin, and relying on each other when things got tough. Isla knew that she and her friends had something special, something that couldn't be broken by anything. As they walked through the halls of Arcanum Academy, she smiled, feeling grateful for the calm before the storm and the bond she shared with her friends. Isla and her friends had just returned to Arcanum Academy after successfully preventing the unleashing of a dangerous magical force. The school was buzzing with excitement as news of their heroics spread, and they were hailed as heroes by their peers and teachers alike. But as the days went by, the excitement died down, and a sense of calm settled over the academy. Isla found herself reflecting on her newfound identity as a witch. She had always known she was different from the other kids her age, but it wasn't until she discovered her magical abilities that she truly began to understand why. She had come a long way since her first day at Arcanum Academy, where she had been bullied and doubted by other students who didn't believe in her abilities. But now, she felt like she belonged. She had a close-knit group of friends who had been through so much together, and they had emerged stronger for it. Isla felt like she had found her place in the magical world, and she was excited to continue exploring it with her friends. One day, Isla and her friends were sitting outside on the academy grounds, enjoying the warm sun and each other's company. They were chatting about their latest adventures when Isla spoke up. "Guys, I was thinking, we've been relying so much on the school's curriculum and the adventures we stumble upon. But what if we started exploring on our own? We could discover new things and learn even more about magic." Her friends looked at her in surprise, but then excitement began to build in their eyes. They knew that Isla was right. They had already proven themselves to be capable and resourceful, and they were eager to take their education into their own hands. They spent the next few days planning and preparing for their adventures. They studied new spells and techniques, and Isla even started reading old magical texts that she had found in the library. They were determined to be the best they could be, and they knew that it was up to them to protect the magical world from any threats that might arise. As they walked through the halls of Arcanum Academy, they could feel the excitement building. They knew that there were many dangers out there, but they were ready to face them head-on. They had become a formidable team, and nothing could stand in their way. But as they continued to prepare for their adventures, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was coming. They didn't know what it was, but they could feel it in the air. It was like the calm before the storm, and they knew that they needed to be ready for whatever was coming their way. Isla and her friends were about to face their greatest challenge yet, and they didn't even know it. But as they continued to study and prepare, they were confident that they could overcome anything that came their way. The magical world was safe in their hands, and they were ready to defend it with everything they had. As Isla and her friends basked in the calm after the storm, they couldn't help but reflect on everything they had been through. The battles they had fought, the dangers they had faced, and the friendships they had forged had all brought them to this moment of peace. Isla in particular had a newfound appreciation for her identity as a witch. She had always known that magic was a powerful force, but now she understood that it came with a great responsibility. As she looked around at her friends, she knew that they shared that same understanding. It was during this period of calm that Isla proposed a new adventure to her friends. She wanted to explore more of the magical world on their own, without the constraints of Arcanum Academy. Her friends agreed, and together they set out to discover all that the magical world had to offer. As they traveled through enchanted forests, crossed enchanted rivers, and explored forgotten ruins, Isla and her friends discovered new powers and abilities within themselves. They each brought something unique to the group, and together they were an unstoppable force. But as they settled into their routine at Arcanum Academy, they knew that their adventures were far from over. They had a responsibility to protect the magical world, to educate future generations of witches and wizards, and to always be ready for whatever danger may come their way. And so, as they looked towards the future, Isla and her friends were filled with a sense of purpose and determination. They knew that they were part of something bigger than themselves, and that their actions would have a lasting impact on the magical world. Together, they would face whatever challenges came their way, with magic and friendship as their greatest weapons. Thanks for tuning in to Midnight Murmurs and joining us on this magical adventure. We hope you enjoyed Chapter 9 of our first book, filled with adventure, friendship, and a few surprises along the way. But don't worry, the story is far from over. Join us for the next chapter, where Isla and her friends continue to explore the magical world and face their greatest challenges yet. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest updates and never miss a chapter. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who also love a good magical story. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter of our magical book series.